My name is Shireen Eid, and I'm a biostatistician with a medium-sized pharmaceutical company in the Philly area, and I have two children, a 12-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter. So my mom got pregnant with me, I think, a month after she arrived. As a new bride, she arrived at JFK with her wedding dress on. And she didn't know anybody. There weren't a lot of Egyptians here. There was maybe just one other Egyptian who was married to a French Canadian at the time. And my mom didn't speak any English. So she could say yes, yes, and no, no. And then she was worried about us. They actually, when I was 4 years old, they expected to go back to Egypt and just live there. And they actually reserved a spot and paid for my registration in a daycare down there in Egypt. It was like a private school, and it was like the best school at the time in Cairo and whatnot. And so after that, they were really worried about the public schools because they didn't know anybody in it. So they put me in a Catholic school for kindergarten. And by that time, my sister was born, and my brother, I think, was on the way. And so their roots kept on going deeper and deeper, and it was harder and harder for them to leave. So they started a whole mosque for me because I had a lot of questions, and they let me ask the questions. They didn't always have the answers, so my dad ended up building his library because I had too many questions. I love the opportunity to do Kung Fu and martial arts. I love the opportunity to that my kids have in a regular public school. I love the opportunities that I have to build my mosque and build my community. I love the fact that we have a Muslim Boy Scout troop. I love the fact that we have swim lessons, and he's on the swim team, and he's on the soccer team, and there's still fairness. Even if it's not as apparent as what we're used to, because it's relative, really. Ryan was asked to join another soccer team, and I said, no, I don't really like that club because they've already demonstrated some Islamophobic and bigoted behavior towards us and other Muslims. And they said, never mind, I'm not going to give them his name, and he can stay with us. And I said, okay, that's awesome. So it's that fairness, right? It's that reaching out. It's hard because my son's in middle school, and it gets as nasty as I think it usually gets. I'm hoping that's as nasty it's going to get. He's been called ISIS. He's been called a terrorist on the bus, and he's been picked on, and he's been bullied, and the administration goes out of their way to help us to support him and have the conversations. And I just saw a TED Talk recently. I think it was posted like a couple days ago, and it was a boy who was bullied. It was a man now, but he was bullied as a boy, and he said something like, you keep on saying sticks and stones don't break my bones, but may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And Ryan would always tell me, Mama, but words hurt. And he said the same thing. I'm like, have you been talking to my kid? Like, it was crazy. And all I can do is remind him that he's not that, and that it's he who defines himself and not others' words or others' ignorance. It's an uphill battle. He's not the majority, and a lot of Muslims in his school like to try to blend in, even though they're browner skinned than he is, or have a very obviously Muslim name. They just don't rock the boat. And he rocks the boat. He'll tell them, no, I don't agree with the statement that everybody believes that the Old Testament and the New Testament are truth in his social studies class in a public school. And I can't say don't do that. Do it. And he says, no, there are Hindus who don't believe in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. There are Jews who don't believe in the New Testament but believe in the Old Testament. And there are Muslims who believe in the gospel and in the Torah, but they don't believe that what's currently in the world today is the true authentic text, and we believe in the Quran. And I'm like, good. But that makes him an easy target. I love every minute. You were never a burden. And I'm so proud of the growth that I see. And I know it's hard to try to instill values that are not shared by a lot of people, or they are perceived not shared by a lot of people. But in the end of the day, you'll thank me for this later. The message I would tell to anybody is just love your kids. Really, like, love really is the answer. In Islam, in Judaism, in Christianity, in Hinduism, in atheism, I mean, in humanistic beliefs, in Buddhist beliefs, it's all about positive energy and love.